All right, so we've talked to a lot of people who are thinking about getting into real estate, right? And when we meet with those people, one of the very first things we ask them is just, why real estate? Like, where are you coming from? Why is this something you're pursuing, right? And I feel like their answers kind of tend to fall in some general themed buckets, but what are some of the things that people tell us when they're like thinking, why real estate?
I want to be my own boss.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Definitely hear that theme.
I currently hate my boss.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They don't say I want to make lots of money, but I think that's what they're actually thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard versions of that. I think kind of versions of that. And I'm like, well,
Some of those conversations don't end up going very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are the big ones. I want control of my time.
Yep.
I want to be my own boss. I love real estate.
Yeah, I love houses and I love people.
I do. Yeah, I don't know if you want the good answers or the bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, these are the answers, right?
I got good and bad ones. But yeah, the worst one is because I really love HGTV.
We've definitely heard that one a lot.
That's my warning sign for this could work or could not.
Yeah, I think so the two that I really want to like hone in on there is I want to be my own boss and I want to control my own time, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's so, I almost ironic. Chuckle inside when I hear those words because I'm like, oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I feel like these agents, these people, and then a lot of our agents, right? They're used to coming from a world where they are an employee. They are not their own boss, and now they step into this world, and it's mind blowing. They're not great employees when they are the owner of their own businesses,
or they're not good bosses.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's more true.
Yeah.
I actually think that they're decent employees. They're just terrible at being a director of themselves.
Yes. Now that they're stepping into this world of being a professional business owner, right?
Well,
like they have to be in charge.
Yeah. If someone gave them a bunch of structure, I think they'd actually comply. Their problem is that they're just bad at giving themselves the structure.
Lacking the structure. Yeah. So really it's just about like organizing your time, right? Like we're so bad about understanding what the priorities are. What does a week look like? This is the number one thing I hear from especially new agents when they're getting into the business is, what in the heck do I do with my day? Like I'm twiddling my thumbs. I'm not sure what my day is supposed to look like. What's my week supposed to look like? So this is something that I talk through with every new agent about what the priorities are and how they can figure out how to block their time to make sure the essential stuff is getting done.
Yeah, and it's maybe worth reminding everyone how big of a shift that is, and it reminds me of time, effort, economy versus results
totally
economy.
See that, yes.
And it's not just that it's like now you're in control of your time and you get to decide what you want to do. It's that it's a fundamentally different set of rules. Mm-hmm. Time in doing tasks that somebody else gave you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether those tasks actually get the outcome or not is somebody else's problem when you're an employee.
True.
In this world, you're not just in charge of what you do with your time. It's that all of your outcomes are directly connected to whether those things actually create the outputs you need.
Yeah.
And so it's a fundamental different, it's a shift in thinking. And whereas in the time and effort economy, I think it's okay to waste time, but it's perfectly, it's fine as it relates to your biweekly paycheck.
Yeah, you're going to get paid whether you're putting in a lot of effort or not, honestly.
In the results economy, you have to figure out what matters. You have to figure out what moves the dial. And in the first 2-3 years of real estate, you have to figure it out very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's a ticking clock for most people.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a cliff at the end of the runway. And if you don't get that thing up and running, you're going to join the 85% of people on the pit on the other side of the runway.
Yeah. I like the foundational concept of what you're talking about there. I always think about, if it is to be, it's up to me, right? Like I've got to figure this out. And so much of that is learning how to structure your time and your day. Like you just have to own it and know that the outcomes are tied directly to your inputs and what you do with every day. I
remember those first few years.
Oh,
and
boy.
I remember feeling like I had a lot of time.
Same.
I mean, I remember going home some days at like 1 because I'm like, I don't know what to do today.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And you feel super guilty, but also you know there's things you could be doing, but also the things you don't want to do.
You're putting off those big scary things, maybe.
I mean, it is a tricky time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a lot of grace for this, but it is what it is. Like you're either going to get off the ground or you're not, and it is a function of your inputs because no cavalry is coming to save you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got to figure out. I mean, time blocking is the thing, but I think it's not. I was thinking about this. We need a better name for this.
I know, yeah, because it's not about just putting
it's a technical reality.
Yeah.
The real reality here is appropriate allocation of your inputs
of the right
and
things.
The ability to like pour fuel into this. It's kind of like trying to. I'm thinking of a camping metaphor.
Okay.
Well, you're out in the middle of you're on the top of a mountain and you've like gathered some kindling and you've got 3 matches and you've got a limited amount of wood because everything's wet and you got to get this little fire going.
This has to work.
And there's this little puff of smoke and it's sort of pathetic and there's no heat from it. But I mean, like, it's now or never. And so, yeah, I think allocation of time and energy and resources has to be focused in that first couple of years because there's a lot riding on that. And you can the reality is that I think you can get a little more, I was going to say lazy or sloppy. Those are the wrong words.
A little more flexible. Like, I feel like you earn flexibility as you go, right?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because our top agents, I think if we're very, very honest with ourselves, have a lot less of their time and energy and inputs blocked for time for lead generating activities.
Agreed.
Truth is, eventually this thing just starts to spit out a whole bunch of smoke, fire, and once in a while you throw a log on the fire.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the dream.
Yes.
There's a lot of work to get there.
And so I see this, like I said, with new agents a lot, but I do also have this conversation a lot as people tend to take their foot off of that gas, right? So like the number one thing that I'm going to tell everybody that they need to do every working day is make sure you are not taking your hand off the pump or the foot off the gas of generating new leads, right? So generating new leads and incubating new leads is my number one, like, non-negotiable. Do that every single day. And so whether you're new and it's literally survival mode, I have to be hungry enough to go do the things that matter, that create the leads, or it's, I kind of got busy and I kind of forgot about generating leads. This is the thing that I feel like people have to go back to. It's still like daily non-negotiable.
I got one really great buyer and I'm showing them houses all day, every day. And now they're in pending mode and they take all of my their time and energy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't know how these agents with 30 sales a month do it because I have one client and they're taking all my time. And I just don't have time, Angela, to do any lead generation this month.
But you do, and you have to, right? And that's, I mean, so the opposite side of that is the 30 pendings. People take their eyes off the top of their funnel, right?
Yeah.
It's just perspective on how you allocate that time and how you understand that. It's all kind of perspective on that. But yeah, number one answer, every working day, you must not forget to do something that is going to fill the top of your funnel, generate new leads. And then you've got to learn to incubate. You got to look at who you've actually got in your funnel and you've got to be working through those to convert them. So that's my number one answer. Any working day, you've got to do that.
Yeah. So I warned you, I might.
I like this. Go.
I might curveball you a little bit. Like, I think that's 100% true. There's no question. And that's how we've had this laid out is start with lead generation. I was thinking about time blocking principles and how to do this right. So that for sure is true. But I was thinking about stacking the order of events.
Yeah.
If you're going to actually be truly diligent at time blocking, I think we're going to start higher up the funnel.
Okay.
So if and I haven't got this perfected, let's map this out together.
Yeah, love it.
Where does time blocking start? I think it has to start with the personal. If you're really going to come at this business right.
I see what you mean. Yep.
I think step one is we start with like the non-negotiables at home. That's what we take a calendar. I mean, I'm teaching my kids this. They're 18
totally.
and 20 and they're such great kids and they're complete spaz clown
at managing
idiots.
Their time.
They just don't know. They don't use calendars. They've never needed to use calendars.
So true.
And you've experienced this with your kids, right? Same age. And so there's a whole new world that you have to step into here. I think the world starts with what are the non-negotiables on the personal side? So this is like, are you going to take vacations this year? Is there days off for you?
Yep.
Is there a date night that you do? Is there kids' time that you have to focus on?
Your kids' activities, yes.
When do you exercise?
Those have to happen.
I love everybody here, but hell or high water, you're not going to catch me on a Monday or a Wednesday night because I'm going to be at jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a non-negotiable. I didn't get into real estate so that stuff couldn't happen.
Yeah, that goes in your calendar first.
So 2 things on this. One, start with the personal because that otherwise, like, what's the point? But caveat, first year, second year, I also think that although that's structured in kind of like the cash flow progression, structure it right, but understand that
that's not necessarily what's going to happen.
Well, the truth is in the first year, if you're really hungry, you're going to have to sometimes subordinate some of those things in order to get this fire started.
Yep, I definitely did.
I did too. And it was worth it. So number one, start with the personal. Number 2 is I actually think before we get to anything else, it's big picture, like planning and strategy. I think
where are you trying to go? Start with the end in mind kind of thing.
If you don't have an annual business plan, whether you follow it or not, at least you put the plan together and realized where you didn't follow it. You got something to measure against. So I think your annual, your quarterly, And then for me, what I would say is maybe most important is just a weekly 45 minutes to an hour.
What am I doing? Yeah.
You grab the weekly sheet.
Yeah.
Look for the back of the boat, and what are your crucial results? Because and if you don't plan that 45 minutes, for me, it was Monday morning, 7 a.m. at a coffee shop.
Yep.
And it was before work because it was like, I'm going to get busy with all this stuff, but every week I'm going to block off this time because it's where I get clear. It's where I get focused. It's where I decide what my crucial results 3 are for the week, and where I decide what relationships and people, not like lead follow-up,
just who do I need to connect with?
Who do I need to spend time with this week in order to move my ball forward? Because this is the on, not in. And so what I'm saying is time blocking starts with one, your
Big
life
rocks.
and you.
Life, yes.
Number two, what are you accomplishing? What's your game plan? What's your strategy? If you don't block that off, it won't happen.
Agreed.
Then I would say you all need to block off the sort of non-negotiables that are inherently built into your business flow. I would say your team meetings every week. I would say your training and education that you know you need to prioritize.
Yep.
Because it's the first thing that goes out, but it's the actual top of the funnel.
Yeah.
Like the funnel starts with lead generation, but before that, it's learning how to do this
the
thing
things.
right.
Like, what are you going to do with these leads if you don't know?
Prioritize like your diet and your exercise and your intakes, which means your learning intakes as well. Again, I don't know why you would expect that you
have the trajectory you want or get where you want to go.
The inputs matter. So I'm at like level 3 now.
Yeah, it's great.
Then I get to lead generation and lead incubation. And I think that includes the ideas we tend to teach, like an hour a day of lead generation in the morning, not the afternoon. I get that sometimes the calls or the notes or the Popeyes might need to happen in the afternoon.
Yep.
And so that's fine. Move it to the afternoon. But I like the idea. The principle was always for me from 8 till noon, or even 1 if my lunches and coffees are included, is my in the office time.
Yep.
And then in the afternoons is where I reserve the time for showings and client meetings and whatever else. But when I say lead generation, I mean your open houses, calls, notes, Popeyes.
All your spokes, right? You're looking at your spokes and you're saying, what am I doing today to help myself fill the top of the funnel?
Which includes the marketing portions of your lead generation activities.
Yep.
And then a separate hour for lead incubation. And that might sound crazy to people in their first year because it's like, I don't have that many leads to incubate. But that's what the forecast sheet taught me early on.
Yes.
Is that I actually had more leads to incubate than I thought. And every single day, let me just say it this way. Schedule the freaking hour for lead generation. Schedule the hour for lead incubation. And if you have to stare at a wall for an hour.
At least you're creating the habit of the time.
Force yourself to, what you're also doing is you're like, after 3 days of staring at a wall, you'll be bored enough to maybe do something.
Go get some leads.
But one, we don't schedule the time. 2, we don't show up with shoes and pants or dress. Shave your face or shave your legs, whichever one is the one you need to do. But
be ready for your day.
And if you've got nothing to do, then be bored out of your mind till you come up with something to do. But you must prioritize this. And later on, you're going to need that blocked off.
Yeah.
And it's like a chicken egg, right? The reason you're going to need that blocked off is because
you're going to have, because you got the leads and you have to convert them and incubate them.
So that's where you picked up.
Yeah.
I would add a few more things after that. We always taught weekly seller follow-up.
Oh, yeah.
It should be reserved, whether it's Mondays or whether it's Fridays, somewhere along the week. I don't have any sellers. That's fine. Stick it on the calendar. Be quiet. It'll happen. But block the time to provide feedback to your sellers. If you don't have sellers, I think that can also be weekly feedback to just more intentional time to your active buyers.
Yeah.
I think scheduling lunches and coffees. And what I mean by this is, and I do this, my calendar has slots open every week for lunches and coffees. And then my job, especially on Monday mornings when I'm planning, is I'm looking a week or 2 ahead for my crucial results and people to reach out to.
Yep.
That's where do I not have those scheduled and and that gives me people to call during my lead generation time.
Yep.
So I think those should be blocked off.
Yeah, and I do kind of put all of that like in the serving your client, the client kind of category, right? So lead generation, lead incubation, and then like those weekly seller calls and who do I need to connect with and those kinds of things for me kind of fall into that.
Well, maybe
client experience and taking care of the people that you're currently transacting with that you need to be communicating with.
That may be the lunches and coffees.
Yeah.
I would put the lunches and coffees in
lead
the lead generation
yes,
time.
agreed.
My final category is where you're going, which is showings and client presentations and client interaction and client follow-up and buyer feedback and all that stuff.
Yes.
So you've got this broken into these 2 priorities.
Yeah.
And I just think all I'm saying...
I like starting higher. I agree.
I think it's important for us to develop it's very much like the cash flow progression.
Mm-hmm.
Develop the habit of structuring it correctly, because down the line, as you get busier, that is the first stuff that's going to go.
Yeah.
And,
and the number one thing, it's funny because that's exactly how I coach, as far as like, look at your week on a Sunday night or look at your week on a Monday morning, prioritize this like planning time, right? And then what I have found with most agents is if you put things in your calendar as repeating weekly events, our brains are now trained to not even see those. So I've been telling people, look at your week, put in the big rocks for like the things that have to get done first. And those usually are the personal things that you're committed to. Put in your team meeting, put in the things, and then where are you going to make lead generation happen? Where are you going to make lead incubation happen? Where are you going to take care of your clients in that other space of your week? That's exactly how I go about talking through it. Yeah.
It's such a dumb, boring,
but it's a
low
you
level
have to hack this, and you have to have the right structure.
It's like making your bed in the morning. It's just uninteresting to talk about. It is fundamentally important.
Yeah.
And it sets the tone for everything else, and is about creating a structure or a system that allows you to succeed.
Yeah.
If you think your willpower or your smarts or your savvy or whatever going to get
just
you
going to get you there magically happenstance.
Time is magical. It's crazy how, I mean, we've all felt it, right? Like some weeks feel like they took a year, and some weeks you just don't know where the time went. There is a magical element to this, and how to properly allocate and control and leverage time is a metaphysical skill set that people need to figure out.
And to that point, right, like you can control it. It doesn't just go away. Like you can make the choice to take control of your time and figure it out and put it in the place where it needs to go, right? So start with the big stuff, get the non-negotiables, do the business non-negotiables, which we are calling lead generation, lead incubation, and taking care of your peeps, right? Like taking care of your clients that are currently in your funnel. And to me, that's all kind of falls in the category of in your business. Like these are the things that you need to do in your business to keep it moving forward, right? So as you have other time, I like to think of you have to step out of your business sometimes, right? So in a week, as you have time and you're being a professional business owner, the next space that I would suggest needs to be thought through is the business owner side of things. So strategically looking at the 4 categories of your business: lead, systems, team, and money, and what improvements or what analysis or what data or what things do I need to then look at my business from above and go, okay, what can I work on improving? So that's like the next level of I've taken care of things in my business and my personal stuff, and now I've got to look at above and on my business.
Yeah, I like this framework because it's more about the categories of importance. You've got, no matter what, you got to generate leads. Number 2, you got to take great care of these clients, because otherwise, what were you generating the leads for?
Yes,
and number
exactly.
3, you got to build a better business.
Yes.
And so I love that simple, clear categorization. What I ran through earlier is more of then a flow chart of prioritization of all the different bullet points within that. So I like both of those lenses. Yeah. I don't know how you go about then scheduling or time blocking for that third category that you're describing.
Yeah. I think my general suggestion for people is, what is your priority this week? It kind of comes into those crucial results for me. Like I save a space for maybe 2 of my crucial results are just things I need to do in my business, but I love a crucial result that's always based on something that is going to grow and build my business better. So it's when I'm coaching people, it's okay, your priority right now is systems. So this week, your crucial result is actually getting that SOP done that you've been wanting to do and that you've been putting off. So to me, it's about what is needing to get done on a weekly basis, and then prioritizing the one thing that needs to make improvement that week.
Yeah. I had an initial thought when I was looking at this piece of paper and thinking about this conversation that it's like you and I both went to school in the 80s, and I'm going to throw another overhead projector sheet on top of this.
I love overhead projectors. I miss them.
Man,
I'm such a nerd.
So let me throw another one on, and maybe it's not for the first year or the second year. It's for our more experienced agents. But I think that the principle holds true, and maybe we can find a way to blend these 2 things together.
I like it. Yeah.
I think that as your business matures, less and less of time blocking. The secret sauce, the magic isn't in like blocking lead generation, blocking lead incubation. It's actually in going to the opposite end of the funnel. I think it starts with what we're teaching in the system side. It's blocking CFO, CEO, and COO
time. Mm-hmm.
And so, we've suggested every quarter an hour with your 90 minutes with yourself to go through the CEO
for
questions.
Critical thinking time. Yeah.
When we do that, it will naturally produce crucial results for the quarter rocks.
Exactly.
And we'll go, wait, we really need to hone in on this, and we really need to focus on this. So time blocking becomes less about the bottom of the funnel of things you need to do, which is where you need to start. And it becomes more about gaining strategic clarity on where you need, and then obviously blocking time to do those things. But I mean, I think that's how it works more for me. I just, before this podcast, I was saying I need more time by myself to get clarity.
Yep.
When I have that clarity, what happens is the projects, the initiatives, they work their way through the system.
Yeah.
And as you build your business, I think, the flow is then prioritize CEOs, COOs, CFO, prioritize quarterlies with yourself.
Absolutely.
Prioritize monthlies, weeklies, and then the to-dos will work their way down. And the good news is once your business is mature, the clients are there.
Yes, that's the beauty.
And the buyers are squeaky wheels, and the sellers you need to get to. And hopefully you've built a good system to keep up with that.
Yep.
And the real focus of time blocking actually shifts to
business owner
thinking time. Yes. So, that's where you were going here.
Yes.
There's 3 categories: lead gen, take care of clients, business owner. And I think in the beginning, that is the right order.
Yeah.
I think
it shifts.
It maybe does shift.
Yeah, I see that. And I like that rethink of just, the prioritization of time as you're going that direction with that critical thinking time, your rhythm of quarterlies, monthlies, weeklies. How can you structure that within the system as you go to?
Well, it's almost like the question is, what's the most important thing? And the answer is it's slightly different things at different times.
Yeah.
But the most important thing most often tends to be the thing that's the least squeaky.
Absolutely. Those things are not going to come to your attention.
It's important, but not urgent.
Yes.
And so we go to all the fires and we skip the thing that matters most. First couple years, it is generating leads, creating a remarkable client experience, and then slowly building a business. In time, it really becomes
the business.
Strategically focusing on the business, and there's a magical trickle down that occurs because you've built a machine that starts to work for you.
Yeah, so good. There's so many things here, guys. Hopefully this is helpful. And I have to say it. You kind of mentioned it when you said prioritize the team meetings and the education spaces. I cannot stress enough, just because this is who we are. And this is who I am. Self-serving. But garbage in, garbage out. Really, watch your intake. And I just feel like there's an endless ocean of ways to go grow and make yourself better. So just intentionally have time also to just learn and grow and be better and outside of what we offer and plugging in. So that is my self-serving last plug. You got to leave space for that, because that definitely won't happen if you don't prioritize it. Yep. So that's mine.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you for the good curveballs. I
feel like we're going to have to rethink how we map some of this.
Yeah, but I think it's good. I think this is healthy and it gets all the pieces.